Hey, welcome back. I got another tangent for you, starting with an old map. Took me to some salt mines, an underground chapel, Vietnam, melded buildings, the whole deal. So I'm gonna be this guy. You be one of these happy people, and we're gonna go tool around on our this thing. So let's go. Okay, so I came across this map. It says 1699, so we'll just assume that that's correct. But it's pretty interesting. Has California as an island again. I haven't gotten any better at that. So, I was just checking it out. I live over here. I thought it was interesting that Lake Erie is the cat lake. Never heard that. Um, so I started looking at this. Let me get closer. Fort of Crevecoeur, or whatever. I'm gonna say everything wrong. I saw over here Mines of St. Barb. So it's like. So I wanted to look into that stuff. Also, this is just interesting, like I said. So, Mines of St. Barb. Well, St. Barbara is the patron saint of miners, basically. Armorers, artillerymen, military engineers, miners, and others who work with explosives. So I don't know. I guess anyone can be a patron saint of anything. This is interesting too. Military engineers brings up star forts. So she was like the daughter of a pagan and wanted to be Christian, so and then got locked away and was tortured and all this. She's always depicted carrying a building or like a tower. So I don't know if that ties in with, like the giants and stuff that have a building on a stick or a building on their head. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything or not. So she gets tortured. This I thought was pretty interesting too. I mean, it's like a little shack on top. This whole thing, if you didn't see this whole thing, it would just be a little shack. I thought it was interesting. She always has chains too. So, what that led me to find was that because she's the saint of miners, there's a million, bajillion, gazillion mines named the St. Barbara Mine. Wow. This is my favorite thing about this stuff. It's no matter what you look up, you wind up looking at weird towers or weird buildings or something. So, yeah, there's a ton of mines called that. Here's one France. Ye olde ladderline. See, it says 1909. I don't know. This all looks brand new. Looks pretty beat in there. Guess these 8 dudes, you know, did all the mining or something. So some interesting stuff comes up like always. There's more of her with her building. So I didn't get too far on the mine thing because, like I said, there's a ton of them. But there's still cool stuff to look at. I don't want to screw around too long, but these are neat. There she is again with her tower. This one's pretty intense. Some awesome pictures of this place come up then too. This is pretty, deserves its own look probably. I think this is it. So yeah, bunch of old pictures. Oops. This one. Ah. See, this says 1778. This looks more, I don't know. It's closer to what you'd expect, I think, for that, or what I would expect. Got a weird obelisk though. Always got to be weird. So it's a pretty common thing, a mine, and have Saint Barbara up there. So this is something we'll look at the end. But yeah, this is interesting. Even like this stuff is way older than this. So I don't know, whatever that means. And then there's that. So that led me to this. The underground chapel of this place. That I'm not going to try to say. It's in Poland. See, it's a UNESCO site. So, you know, that's, they kind of subvert things and cover things up. So this is one of the oldest salt mines in the world, hosting the world's largest underground chapel. So we'll just look at these because they're cool. See, this is dressed up all nice. I mean, the whole thing is nice. That's not what I meant, but here we go. A Copernicus monument. Hmm. See, it says 14. I don't know if it's 73 or 23 to 1970 or 23. And even this looks like the top of a building. Arch. This stuff's all carved out of the salt. And I mean, these are cool, but I think they're kind of trying to distract you with that stuff. In a sense. See, here's like a broken column, it looks like. And this looks like UAP did a video about those Long Yu caves in China, I think. And they had marks kind of like this. Sorta. Also, this also reminded me of a I forget who showed it. Might have been UAP or Campbell, but it was a mine, and it was kind of like this. It had all sorts of fancy doorways and stuff that didn't really make sense. Here's Saint Barbara again, patron saint of explosives. Again, they have like little mock-ups of stuff for you to look at instead of the mine. So, is this supposed to be like him rising? Or like, what's this about? The Last Supper. See, in here, there's big arches, columns, but it's all beat. It's all destroyed. And then back here, big arches, dome, castle stuff back here, big tower. Arches, aqueduct, Bible times. Murdering everybody. So yeah, this whole chapel and a salt mine thing. And like, what is this about? I don't even know what to say. Just you can look at it yourself. It's ridiculous. And they just carved this because, you know, whatever. Because mining wasn't hard enough. They wanted to. They did all this too. Like, oh, after a hard day of mining, let's go carve out a whole chapel down here too. Why not? I can't help it. I want to look at this. What is this guy? Is that just his fish head or what? I guess. Oh yeah, I guess this is his face. I can't really see it right. Got an anchor. Some kind of scepter, a big feather. What is this? Got these clover things. Yeah, I first saw this picture like in the search, and I wasn't sure if it was real. Like I had to, come find out about it cuz this looks like a movie set. Again, doing all this but building with wood. There's even a salt lake. This is just the smaller chapel. So they have two chapels. This guy. Check these out. Wow. And I mean, this, I guess the argument would be that it was made by the same, people, but this looks exactly the same as what's down there. Like, that's not a building, but this is a building. But that's a mine. Here's more pictures of it. So that was the first thing. I didn't quite, I didn't go deep into this place, but it, it speaks for itself, kind of. The other thing, like I said, I started looking up this fort. Oh goodness, now I can't do the right thing. Fort Crevecoeur or whatever. Where is it? Over here. Down here. This place. So this is kind of the same thing. There's Fort Crevecoeur in Illinois, Florida, Indiana, France. So there must be something to reusing these names all the time. Now, and some of these, you could tell me that they're wood, and I would accept that. These ones look like castles. I think this is the one in France. But like this. I don't remember which one this is, but clearly this was more Star 40. And then it has this wall lined with the things. like and see this, I mean this has, and these probably have to be man-made, I would say, to do with whatever the star forts were doing. Yeah, like on those maps I was looking at, you know, had like the wall dotted with stuff. Yeah, so same thing. Didn't find like specifically what I was looking for, but you find plenty of interesting stuff. It turned into the whole rest of this. This looks seen better days, huh? This one comes up a lot. So yeah, and like this was Fort Crevecoeur and then was rebuilt Fort Usher. I thought it was 1839, rebuilt 1924. So we know what that means. This. Check that out. That's a terrible picture of it. There's better ones, and we will see them. Again, like I said, no matter what you look up, wind up looking at star forts. It's crazy. Same thing, got water going right in. Crevecoeur. Whatever. I didn't see this before. I think that's the one that we looked at the front of. Yeah. This ain't the best one, but look at this. And like, look how thick it is. Like, you can see the several layers. And again, like nobody's like, hey, what else is around here? Like that's the first thing I think. This is interesting too. Basically a castle sticking out of a hill. And then down here, we'll see other pictures, but there's a big old cathedral down here too. Of course. Here's this place again. Wow. And see, I don't know. I didn't look when this is from, but like, this looks old in this picture, you know? These are bricked up. I think. This is all broke. This looks beat. It's got some cows hanging out. Because you build this for some cows to hang out. And this. You need these to keep. This is for cattle. Oh, this was the one I was expecting to find. This place is cool. Again with this, where's the picture of the whole thing? So this is the one in Florida, I presume. Got some copper things, it looks like, little domes. This whole deal. It's like everybody It's like everybody thought of the same thing. Wow, look at that. Pointy bits. Again, like, this is the kind of thing you can see rebar and stuff. Whatever this is, shackles or something, but like some more weathering, you wouldn't even notice this was like a structure. Wow. Looks about right. See what I mean? This. This was the one I had in my brain, but I don't even think that maybe this ain't the same place either. I don't know. But this was the picture I was thinking, but yeah, so like is all this remnants of this or what? So this. Now, I mean, this is a castle sticking out of a hill if I've ever seen one. I mean, come on. So, now we're going to Vietnam. This is, damn, what is it? Look at this stuff. It's crazy. Yeah. High Van Pass. Da Nang. I think there's several places along this pass. But so like this whole place is this kind of stuff. Just like peaks of things sticking out of the hill. This was just like, somebody's blog or whatever that I was looking at this stuff on, but they had some good pictures. And I mean, even, these are bricked up like, I mean, it looks like it was done more than once. So these aren't quite, I mean, these do look a little cooked, I guess. But there's some like really melded looking stuff. Yeah, so this is Da Nang, or, excuse my pronunciation, but then here, this is Marble Mountain. And same thing, there are chapels and pagodas and shrines and all kinds of things inside this mountain. Here. Intrigued by the mountains named after the 5 elements. And then they took the elevator, so there's an elevator in here. The only accessible mountain. So, there's 4 more, but this is the only accessible one. I'm not sure, this is the only accessible one, and it has caves, pagodas, carvings, blah, blah, blah. See, like this almost looks like an archway. Not sure. Check that out. This bridge is pretty cool. Stuff looks old. So there's a couple other spots. Yeah, more like this. This is, oh, I can't see it. But again, on this one, you can see brick behind the facade. So I assume this was all covered, you know. So Marble Mountain, I looked up Marble Mountain because that was pretty cool, and it is indeed really cool. That's one thing that's cool is like a lot of people travel through this whole thing, so there's lots of pictures of this stuff. And I gotta wonder, like in this one and in that other one, if they don't just like, you know, slap up a shrine in here so you don't go, so people don't go check it out. But that's just how I think about everything, so. All inside a mountain. People, apparently people used to like carving through mountains and stuff because they sure did it a lot. Here's another picture of this thing looking a little cooked. I can't get over this. And then nobody thought to dig any of this or what? I don't get it. Phenomenal. This looks like it should be underwater or something, you know? Like mermaids and stuff. Hmm. Yeah, so then I saw this and I had to go on a thing about that. This was only built in the last couple years, and they tell you how these are whatever, fiberglass and wire mesh, but there's decent pictures of them. I mean, they do look fake, but it still makes me wonder, like, why you would go with that for a theme. I don't know. So this is another spot along the High Van Pass called Boy Ann, or however you say it. But again, like I said, if that one place, if this is a building sticking out of a hill, if I've ever seen it, this is an effing melded structure if I've ever seen it. Like, I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. I think I have one of them here. Yeah. And the face is missing off of these figures too. I mean, that one looks cooked. I'm not sure what else you could get out of it, except that it looks cooked. Well, not quite here, but on some of these other ones too, it has these altar things, and like the figures are missing. Oh yeah, and this place is called My Son. I was gonna bring that up actually, cause, and look at that, cooked. What is this? Because the woman, it was her little travel blog, and she went here and was saying how she wasn't sure if it was worth the 3-hour round trip, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? This wasn't worth the 3-hour round trip. Crazy. So I'd like to look into, what's the story? what the hell happened to this place? Aside from it that it got cooked. It's incredible. So, it was a resort built by some French dudes to be a resort in Vietnam. I don't quite get the whole thing there, but it has some ridiculous buildings. If I could find a picture of them. Sun World. It's also called Sun World. This is where, I don't know if I showed it, but they have these cable cars. It's pretty gnarly. I don't know if I'd be doing all that. I don't know. Pretty cool though. Yeah, this place. I'll tell you, this is an old French church or something. There's better pictures of it. That's what happens is I look at all this stuff and I'm like, I better make a video before I look at way too many things and I can't I can't corral it all back. Yeah, look at this. It's totally normal. There's not huh. I guess we're finding out it is normal actually, but these got these big spires. And there's definitely better ones than this too, but the whole place, it's like Disney World almost. So I'm not sure, cause like this, I saw closer pictures of this, and I mean it looks like this is faked, But I don't know if that means the whole thing is modern or they just dressed up an old thing to, I'm sure they dressed it up. That seems like what they do. Yeah, these. Sun World. Even some, maybe not this one, but some of this, it looks fake. That's awesome. I thought this was cool. Star on the ground. Dome. Rotunda thing. So that's about it. I better wrap it up or I'll go on forever. Can't help it though, this stuff's interesting. So there's just this one more thing, that thing I said about this came up, curiosities in the Pyrenees. and I didn't look at any of this except this, but these are cool as well. And I'd like to do some searching about it. I didn't get to yet. But again, why nobody digs this stuff up? They just close it off, I guess. 1929. Now I don't know what this says either, so it probably says we made this look like something else in 1929. That's my guess. This was that one I showed. 1929, just building little holes in the holes in the mountain. There's definitely not a structure in there. That they just built this part because that makes sense. Come on. That's about that. That's all I wanted to show. Thanks for coming on my little cart guy tour. If you like this, please like it. Please share it. Leave me a comment. Sub to my channel. All that. And I will see you next time.